Greetings, fellow Antifa super soldiers. It's Sim, hbomberguy, official spokesman for the radical left. Well, I'm right up there behind, Mark Hamill and Acodec. I'm here to bring you an important announcement regarding the official leftist diet plan, which, as you know, we have. The original Smash the State diet plan recommends numerous soy products, but thanks to the work of rigorous journalist and intellectual powerhouse Pajama Watson, it turns out that soy might be bad for you. That's huge if it turns out to be true. Is soy food consumption turning men into pussies and making them more likely to adopt left-wing beliefs? Soybeans contain high amounts of phytoestrogens. This reduces testosterone and lowers male sperm count. There seems to be an even closer correlation between male feminist virtue signalers who defend Muslim refugees and their soy fetish. What is it about soy that turns men into such spineless wimps? A full investigation at Antifa headquarters, which exists, is underway to determine if the soy diet is a product of fascist subversion. Please refrain from consuming soy products until further notice. Nailed it. And thanks to further investigation by Pajama Watson's enlightened fanbase, you might also want to hold off on drinking water. In the meantime, we'd better watch more of Paul's content to find out what foods he recommends in its place. Roll the clip, Jeremy. Every morning before I start writing or shooting a video, I take 2 capsules of Brain Force for a sustainable burst of energy. This is, without question, the most powerful nootropic IV ever taken. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Get your Brain Force Plus at InforceLife.com. The all-new, supercharged Brain Force Plus, because they're so war on for your mind. Top scientists and researchers agree we are being hit by toxic weapons in the food and water supply that are making us fat, sick, and stupid. Well, we can't find any top scientists or researchers who say this, and Labrador in San Francisco has tested the supplements and found their effects to be massively lacking, and also to be hugely overpriced compared to the same pills sold elsewhere. Almost as if Infowars is an agent scam for money. As an ACS for more Infowars is as a for But that's what you would get if you trusted the soy entists at Soy Fran Soy Sco. Let's turn instead to the unbiased internet for a second opinion. I bought this stuff because Alex told me this would help me turn the corner mentally, but it hasn't really worked. I just get all jittery. I can't sit still. And then I pass out without accomplishing anything. The real conspiracy is Jones' garbage products that he sells to ignorant people that believe his lies. I used to be one of them, but not after my horrible experience with Brain Force. When I took Brain Force, I thought I was going to have a heart attack, and then the diarrhea started. I tried to return the product, but they were rude and ignored me. By all of these accounts, Brain Force fails to establish itself as a quality nootropic supplement. They cut their one useful ingredient with cheap stimulants and sedatives that are neither considered healthy nor effective. Alex Jones and Infowars both have an extremely negative reputation within the scientific, medical, and business worlds, and their products are considered low quality in general. Lastly, the vast majority of their previous users have negative things to say about their experiences with the product. There is no better judge of how effective a supplement can be than the results it gets from normal people, and they largely have not had positive things to say about its effects. How does brain force compare to similar nootropics? Well, oh, but of course, there's no reason to trust Richard at dietsinreview.com. After all, for all we know, he could be using, science to determine the effects of these supplements. And science is known to be a tool of the establishment, run purely by leftists and water drinkers, or as I like to call them, fluoride fops. It's alliterative so that me less intelligent fans will remember what I'm talking about when the videos ended. So I wouldn't trust that website either. No, all we need to do to find out what we putting into our bodies is to look at the ingredients section. So, using our heads, we can determine that instead of soy, we just getting pure, unadulterated, dramatic music and singing from the video. I think I might be getting a few mixed messages here, Paul. I said singing from. It's additive free, nothing artificial. It's Brain Force Plus. Soybeans contain high amounts of phytoestrogens. This reduces testosterone and lowers male sperm count. Men with low testosterone have impaired sexual functioning. They lose their libido. Every morning before I start writing or shooting a video, I take 2 capsules of Brain Force. Men with high estrogen take on feminine traits. They find it harder to handle stress. I take Brain Force. Their voices get higher, their genitals shrink. I take Brain Force. What is it about soy that turns men into such spineless wimps? We losing an entire generation of young men to soy. This is, without question, the most powerful nootropic I've ever taken. Soy boy, soy boy, soy boy. Get your Brain Force Plus at Infowars.com. When it comes to soy, just say no. Okay, this might be a little confusing for some people. If soy makes you effeminate and a leftist, why is Paul, a right-wing Adonis-like perfect specimen of human masculinity, happily recommending products that contain soy? How do we resolve the deadlock between what Paul says and what Paul does? Obviously, my first solution was to drink some raw milk to own the libs and then have to have a light down for a little bit. But when I got out of the hospital, I realized that the main problem is that Paul simply doesn't have enough data to determine whether or not soy is bad for him, which is a problem that tends to come with ignoring all the data. So we're going to have to test the effects of soy ourselves without those pesky scientists surreptitiously inserting their misleading facts. And as a fan of Paul's, journalism, I volunteer me body to be the test. The normal hbomberguy diet, the classic, consists mostly of coffee with skimmed or semi-skimmed milk, porridge consumed on the toilet for maximum efficiency, co-op chicken and bacon wraps, co-op duck and hoisin sauce wraps, McDonald's chicken nuggets, the worst energy drinks I can find, sausage and chips with cheese and curry sauce from a shop where everyone recognizes me from high school and at some point also found out about me YouTube channel, and it's really embarrassing. This isn't a joke. Shout out to Dan and Colin if you re-watching this. And for dessert, co-op easy roll puff pastry. I'm not fully certain I consume that much soy at all. So let's change that. My pal Alexis Berman on Twitter drew opus soy boy diet, which includes plenty of great examples of things containing soy, and I'll be largely sticking to it for the next 30 days and recording me weight, taking intrusive pictures of my body and seeing if I become a puny effeminate weakling right in time for my really buff and health-conscious cousin to make fun of me at Christmas dinner for the third year in a fucking row. I just got back from Holland and Barrett, a store I've never walked into before in my life. My basic rule for this diet is that anything I can reasonably replace with a soy-based product will be. Soy yogurt, soy milk, soy replacements for meat, and so on. This will probably effectively double as a vegan diet because all meats and animal products I would normally be eating are being replaced for the purposes of ensuring I'm eating enough soy for this test to be efficient. Basically, the only soy product I want to be consuming is Brain Force Plus because holy shit, have you seen the reviews? It's fucking terrible. See you in around 30 days when I cover the effects of this ridiculous test and also do a more in-depth debunking of the bizarre conspiracy theorist ideology behind nonsense like Paul's video. I've already done me initial weigh-in. I've censored it. Because after filming this, I realized I was holding a pretty heavy camera that would severely affect the results. So I'm gonna have to weigh myself again later. You know what they say about the camera adding 10 pounds. It was significantly more than 10 pounds. I'll be documenting everything I eat over on Patreon for people who are super interested in the things I am putting into my mouth, and maybe I'll record some little bonus videos about the experience of eating vegan meat replacement foods for the first time in my life. And as a send-off for meat in my diet for at least the next 30 days, I got myself my favorite meat-based product. Thanks for watching, and until next time, avoid eating. And I'm trying to think of a comical food to avoid eating in case it turns you into a leftist. But these people are literally afraid of beans and water. So I can't think of anything funnier than that. You can't own them any harder than they re-owning themselves. So I guess I'll soy you in a month. These are actually quite hard to peel. Would be really cool if I peeled it right as I said that, wouldn't it? I guess I'll soy you in a month. Great. You know, the basic amount of nutritional research I did to form the basis of the diet I'm gonna be doing has led me to realize that I actually don't want to eat any more of these. So I can't even do the ending I'd planned.